Hey, Colas. I'm sorry, I was waiting on people to come. I'm gonna start in a minute, but how you doing? I'll wait for a few more minutes. But let me tell you, oh God, this is making me headache. I don't know why. I come across people's YouTube channel, and then I like to occasionally watch new people because after a while you get tired of seeing the same people all the time. But I just came across this. Let me be nice. Foolish person that has a YouTube channel, and this person name is Rideshare Hustler, and I don't know how old he is, but he sounds dumb as fuck because I just I saw that he finally went on live, and so I clicked on there and said, okay, he's been telling his story on YouTube, and he got way more subscribers than me, not a whole lot. Like, I mean, he ain't no blew up big channel, but anyway, he's based in he lives in Vegas. And from what I got about him from his story that he just got that he's still telling, but I told him I had to go because it was making my head hurt listening to the story of his circumstances. So anyway, so he's from Youngstown, Ohio. Moved with, he was telling this story about how he was making how he got like $1 million, and how he, through some inheritance, and how he lost $1 million. Now this might have been, I assume this might have been a couple years ago or a year ago or whatever. I don't know, because he was already talking for about a good hour in the live stream. So when the time I clicked on it, I said, let me click on and see what he's talking about. So he went on about, yeah, his fault. But basically, and people in the chat were being just as stupid as well. And he had got $1 million that his grandfather left. I don't know if the grandfather passed or he just got $1 million or whatever, or from the family. So he's, so previous videos I've been listening to him, and he's saying he's been a party promoter, and he had his own bar or business or some sort. Lost the business or whatever, and basically, he got money, right? It wasn't even a whole lot of money. Hey, two people, go ahead and hit the thumbs ups. I appreciate it. So, and I'm only letting subscribers in this. So basically, um, he said that he got into the money. He got into some money and went to Vegas. Met a some reality TV star. I don't even know who it is. I don't care to know who it is. I don't know why people think that that's so and so from such and such. So he basically went to Vegas and went to the casino. He was already dressed like a bum. This is what he said. Now, I ain't saying he said he dressed like. He said he basically came in there with big old baggy clothes and all this kind of stuff, and saying that the airport lost his luggage, and so therefore he was, looking around, and people were dressed in tailored suits and this and that or whatever. And he came in there looking like a bum, basically. So he went on to play. He went into the casino, met this chick that he said was some reality TV star. And, people. I don't know. I don't get starstruck like that. So he said, "Oh, she smiled at me. Da, 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 da," struck up a conversation. All kind of yada yada yada, right? So he basically had lost money gambling because he said he had a gambling problem. And he was going on and on. And the only thing I caught at the tail end of it was, and ain't nobody taught me about money, and everybody, people were in my ear, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, so you blew money, 6 figures of money, or $1 million or whatever on foolishness. But that's the tip of the story. So I was only in the chat for 5 minutes. Rise your hustle, something. And then he said that he had that this is where it don't make no fucking sense. He said that his grandfather's house that he lived in when he was living, he from Ohio, had left the name in his house since he was born. I said, how you gonna leave a house? Somebody said it was a grandfather left him a house since he was born. That don't make no sense. That sounds like stupid to me. But saying that it left the house in his grandfather's name, and so I guess it was someone else too. It had to have been somebody else. You can't leave a house in a minor's name. Now you could put it in a trust, but whatever. So in the meantime, he was getting filtered money from the grandmother while he in Vegas losing money. Talk about he only had $7 when he got to Vegas, and he only had money to buy a cheeseburger, and they were sending him money. But in the meantime, you going at the crap tables, gambling it away, and thinking, "Oh, I'm going to make the money back, or make double my money, whatever, whatever." And I'm like, okay, so. And I can't tell you the whole damn story, but it's not really my point of the topic. So then he said that he had, so at that point, he had got the house in his name, and he got swindled. This is so fucking dumb. Being young ain't got nothing to do with common sense. He said that the house was therefore in his name from the grandfather that left him the house. He turned around and had all this money, and all this money he lost. And somebody from Nigerian guy offered to buy the house for $500,000. That's what he said. I was like, ain't no fucking house in no Youngstown, Ohio worth no $500,000 fucking dollars for one thing. You know, I can't. I don't see it. So then he said that he sold the house to some Nigerian, and then somehow or another, um, they threatened him to kill him, and so he had to pay. He had to pay like 50% interest or something. Because he said this the day he was. I was listening to his. I just started listening to his videos a couple of days ago, and he was talking about how he had got a loan from someone, and it was like a 50% interest and stuff. I was like, what the hell? And then somehow or another, I was like, hell no. The minute you said Nigerian and got the house, I knew you were scammed. But ain't nobody told me nothing. Ain't no one said nothing. Ain't got. I was like, first of all, if you came across some inheritance of money or whatever the case may be, I'm quite sure there would have been some form of probate court involved, lawyers that will read the will or some sort. But just to randomly get all this money and you blew it, and then he did say it was it's my fault. But it was like the more and more he started going on his channel, on his live stream, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting a headache. I gotta go. He said, yeah, you gotta go. Yeah, you may want to leave because the story gets worse. I said, oh my goodness. All I could do was shook my head. So in the meantime, I'm in the chat. And I didn't make no despairing comments or whatever. I was like, you ever heard the expression, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? That's what he should have done. And then there was some fool that was in the chat, and obviously he ain't got no moderators. He was like, Lady T, you probably ain't got 5 figures. I said, no, I don't have 5 figures. I have 6 figures, dumbass. You know? And then after that, I had to kind of curse the people who was in the chat out because you sit up in here, you're a random dumbass person making some comment. Oh, I said, you don't fucking know me. And I sure hope that some of these trolls who be on other people's channels, yeah, click on my channel. I do need the subscription of 1,000 people. Yeah, come on my channel. And then if you ever come on here and you make up some fake name to come on here, I'll curse your ass out too. But the more I was listening to it, people say, well, at least he's young. What the hell young got to do with it? I said, if you can't manage money when you have very little, then when you come across some money and you ain't going to handle it regardless how much money you get. So I'm looking at this person's YouTube channel, Ride Share Hustle, whatever. I unsubscribed. I just totally unsubscribed. I said, shoot, I'm not going to subscribe to people, especially if you don't have a lot of people on your channel. I'm not going to just subscribe to people randomly anymore. If you don't subscribe to my channel and I'm regularly commenting on your channel or whatever, and I subscribe, and I say, well, come and subscribe to my channel. It ain't gonna be no, I'm gonna subscribe and you come up, and you think next thing you know, you blow up to some big ass YouTube content creator because people says, oh, you speak so well, you sound so nice, and it's like he told this big ass story of all this stuff in his situations, and hey, 3 people, go ahead, hit the thumbs up, and then you go on here and you make this, you get on there about your story. And this thing must have happened, I think, when I was looking at his videos a couple of days, and he keep popping up on my channel. Now, he's on live stream now, Ride Share Hustle, talking about all the things he went through. I said, I said, what? You gonna sell your grandfather's house that you inherited? I'm thinking this in my mind. And this ain't the first time I heard somebody did something stupid about getting a house from a relative, and then all the relatives are messy because nobody don't know nothing, don't have no money. And they say, I don't know, and I didn't understand. Ain't nobody tell me nothing, nobody told me anything. Really? You gotta, I'm not talking about you have to know inheritance and tax laws and transfers of property and inheritance and things like that. But anytime you come across situation, especially within a family where you're left any sums of money, it could be $1 million, it could be whatever. And people just come, and I was like, that ain't a lot of money. It might be initially like, ooh, I come across a big sum of money and I got $50,000. I left $1 million. And then you turn around and go to Vegas and spend up your money and buy a whole bunch of foolish stuff. Ain't nobody need to tell you that. And then he said something about because the grandfather left him money, and then other members of the household will say, oh, you didn't earn it, and you get people in your ear talking about you didn't earn the money and this and that or whatever. And then you turn around and you had the house is in your name, supposedly, and then turn around and lose it because some Nigerian person called on the phone and offered you money and you take it. I was like, oh my God, you owe me $500 million. I said, did he really get $500,000 for a house? I was like, something ain't seem right. And even if he got any sum of money and you blew it and like that, I had to stop. I had to okay, let me go on my own channel and go live. And this topic that I was talking about, common sense ain't common sense, that's just a random, I just made it up because that really wasn't why I came on here in the first place. It wasn't really to talk about that. It was really talking about taxes and the tax implications with the student loan forgiveness. Even though $10,000, $20,000 could be forgiven off your student loans, I was going to talk about that. But I just recently read that 11 states may require that you pay state taxes on that $10,000 or 20. Hey Charlie, or that $20,000 portion of the student loan forgiveness. But that's going to be another channel, and I'll probably do a. I'm not going to do a live stream on that. I think I'm going to make a video and do a short video and post it once and because I'm not doing a lot of live streaming anymore as much anymore, but I'll do a few times. But I'm going to be on. I'm going to make a schedule as to when I'm going to go live, when I'm going to start talking about certain things, and have and appreciate more interaction, especially if I'm on StreamYard, the people to come on. Not the same people all the time, not Romeo. Romeo be the only one be coming on. David may possibly come on. But that's how I'm going to do it from this. This is how I'm going to do it from this point on. I felt that when I was making more videos, taping it and posting it, I seem to have more comments and responses and probably more people to subscribe to my channel. But my point is, I'm gonna end this video because ain't nobody on here. And so y'all may have to catch the replay. And do not leave no despairing, stupid ass, idiotic comments, especially if you're coming from somebody else's channel and make up a troll page, because you will be blocked. And I find out that people who do those type of things, you know that the way how YouTube had changed a lot of things now, I could find out exactly who you are, even if you make up a fake name with a stupid ass avatar as a picture. So you want to be careful what you do. For real. For real, for real, as some people would say. But anywho, I just feel that a lot of people make YouTube videos. The more crazier it sounds, especially when you talking about, ooh, I'm gonna make $10,000 a month, and I'm gonna try to hustle doing these gig work and doing Uber and Lyft and everything else. And people like curious just to see, oh, can this person do it? And then they got these, obviously they got these new people who started doing these gig work, especially if you do DoorDash and Uber Eats or whatever. They come on to be doing these gig work that I've done 4 years ago. And then they come on here and think they know it all. Hey, your pleasure. Now I don't know if y'all caught, because I was talking about common sense is not always common sense. I was speaking about this person on YouTube that I was subscribed to. I just unsubscribed to this person. How he was he up in Vegas hustling, and he was telling a story about how he lost basically $1 million of inheritance that was left to him by his family, his grandfather in particular, and how he had a bar or some kind of, he had some kind of business. He had a bar or he was a promoter. And I was like, I had to leave because it was making my head hurt how he said that he had got into some money, went to Vegas, had $7 in his pocket. The grandmother sent him some money. He went to a casino, blew the money, met some so-called celebrity star, and held on to his money. And he was like, no, she didn't take the money, this and that or whatever. And then basically blew all that money. And even though he wasn't blaming other people, in a way he was kind of blaming other people, because he was like, ain't nobody told me about how to handle the money, this and that. I said, and basically he said that the house was was put in his name since he was born. Him and somebody else, I assume, had to be the mother, because you cannot put a house in somebody else's name as a minor, especially you talk about you a baby. So basically the grandfather, I assume the grandfather passed away. The house was in his name. He turned around, had owed all this money, doing all kind of foolishness and guilt, because people said, you didn't earn the money, but he blew it in a nutshell. And he said he some Nigerian. When he said Nigerian, he sold a house to some Nigerian who offered $500,000 for the house on money, and then had these issues with threatening him and threatened to kill him, and basically stole the house under him. But he would that just sounds stupid to me, because how you gonna just sell the house to some random person, Nigerian at that, and fall for the okey doke, and then turn around. You had tenants renting out the house, doing everything. You pay. I had to pay $5,000 to the person who lived in the house, and I had to pay this money to the realtor. I had to pay this. I was like, and they threatened me, and I went to the police, and this. I had to leave the chat. I had to leave the channel. He was live streaming. I'm not gonna mention the name no more, because I don't want y'all to be coming over. What Teresa talking about? And then next thing you know, y'all be subscribing to a fool talking about you got a plan, and you gotta, you trying to make $10,000 and doing the rideshare gigs, and you up in Vegas, and I was like, mm-mm. Then the people in the chat, they not even know better. They talk about, Lady T, you probably don't even have 5 figures. Fuck you niggas. First of all, I said, no, I don't have 5 figures. I got 6. So you don't know me. People just they always want to clap back and say something stupid. And everybody, well, he young. I said, young ain't got nothing. I said, what does young have to do with common sense? I was like, and this is like I was saying, I'm going to backtrack what I said maybe 15, 20 minutes ago. Basically, I don't understand why people, I said, if you have little money and you don't know how to manage $10, you're not going to manage $100. If you can't manage $10,000 or an entry level job or whatever the case may be, you're not going to manage if somebody gave you or you win the lottery 100,000 or whatever. That's how people get in trouble. Then they like to say, "Oh, ain't nobody taught me no money. Ain't nobody taught me no." And then you think you get a lot of money, and then they say, "Oh, you want to spend it." Ain't nothing wrong with um, lavish gifts here and there, but don't be a damn fool and do foolish stuff. You know, if you know you had a if you know you had a if you know you had a gambling problem, you ain't just had no gambling problem when you moved to Vegas. You had a gambling problem when you was in Ohio. You had issues with how you did. Well, that's being young. Young ain't got nothing to do with it. There's some people. They are 5 years, 10-year-old be starting businesses, be having common sense than that. And I know that it's how if you have family members who teach you about money, or if you have someone who may teach you money, and even if you don't have anyone who could help you financially, if it's because you think that, oh, I grew up poor and I ain't had no money, I'm broke, and then you turn, and sometimes they may not teach that in school. At least not now. They didn't. I know when I went to high school, I would, they had I learned business, I learned finance. Matter of fact, I went to Walton High School, Academy of Finance, and I learned about finance and investments even when I was in 11th and 12th grade. I had, and I had learned about money. It may not be the most sophisticated way, but I always been, you know, had my allowance, got paid, get money from my grandparents when you go in South Carolina, when I was to go down there every summer, and we would help me and my cousins and my sister, we'll go down there and help our grandfather in the field, and they'll give us, you know, money to work in the field. And I remember I would save it in a jar and kept it, And then if I did go out and buy a little bit of something, it would have been like something like a honey bun and a soda, and that's it. It didn't spend all that money like crazy, and I would save that little bit of money at the end of the summer, and then And whatever school supplies or little clothes we wanted to buy, we had it. But I always remember being a saver. My grandmother, my grandparents, people tell me that, don't be trying to spend all your money like that. You know, they may not have been sophisticated in how they said, but people's like, learn to save. Even if you learn the basic saving, giving tithes to the church or 10% or whatever, I don't, or something, you know. But I was like, oh my God, people just don't have no common sense. Ain't no, I said, how you gonna just fall for that okey doke? And then I was like, you know what? I said, I hope, I said in one of his messages that he's had made a video the day before. I said, I hope you had set aside money and taxes on these so-called $10,000 you try to make in a month doing um doing these rideshare gigs up in Vegas, and you sitting here doing it. Oh, my son, so I don't know how he got a son, but you know, he like, oh, I didn't take care of my son, and he don't even, I don't know. I ain't even, he ain't even tell that part of the story, but I don't know if he living in his car in Vegas. I don't know if he's um has a place to stay, but just watching this person, and I'm like, you talking about, oh, my goal? And I'm not a goal. I'm not a goal crusher or a dream crusher. But I had made my point. I made my suggestions and some of this stuff. I said, why don't you just go and work at Amazon? They got a site in Amazon right there in Vegas. Trust and believe. And then and then you listen to these fools that's in the chat or make comments in the comment section. I don't need no 9 to 5 job. I don't need to work no 9 to 5. I could be on my own and do Uber and Lyft and whatever the hell else people want to do exclusively and nothing else. And I'm like, I said, you know what? Y'all must have came on here and started doing ride sharing gigs in a year or 2 years ago. Because I said, if the biggest YouTuber, Jermaine Ellis, was doing these gigs, lived in San Francisco, way before most people, because there's some people who've been really been doing it way before most people started doing it, and they did quite well. If he's saying that it's dried up in San Francisco, and possibly, I think he was, and I heard him that he may possibly looking for a job when he does his domestic travels. And he said he just want a job that don't require, him wearing a uniform and stuff. So he said he may find a little job at the mall or something. And he was making big money doing all the gigs. The channel is way bigger than the one I'm talking about, than the person who I'm talking about. And I said, you know what? If people don't realize it's time to make a beeline exit and realize that Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, or whatever is not meant for any sustainable sums of money to make, to pay your bills, to do whatever. You could still do these gig jobs, whatever it is. But I was saying, you know what? While you still young, or while most people still young, why don't you? I don't care. I said, why don't you just get a job and work at Amazon? I'm not saying Amazon is the best and the best of the world, because like I said, I'm wearing the shirt, delivery, whatever. I know that if I was in situations, and trust me, I was in situations back in 2016. But see, I had saved up. I probably had over a year of emergency fund savings, and I didn't struggle at first when 2016 came around, and then you know then I came across doing these gig jobs, versus Uber, and then I never did Lyft, never. And then I started doing all these other food deliveries. that I was able to sustain myself and not blew up all my savings so quickly. And yes, I did eventually find a job, even though it was kind of um, it wasn't paying as much or whatever the case may be. And I had, when I did come across an issue when being behind, especially paying my mortgage, my mother helped me come up with the money to pay my mortgage. Now it wasn't no months or whatever, but I was managed to pick back up. And then, you know, and now um I'm in a better position than I am now. But I always said from the beginning that back in 2016, 2017, I said this gig economy is only meant to last for about 5 years. Because when you start doing 1099, you cannot always come up with a loss. Every time you file your tax return on your Schedule C, you always had a loss. At some point or another, you just can't keep writing off things at a negative number. And remember, I spoke about when you work in a gig job, 1099 particularly, you have to pay estimated taxes and start paying taxes and withholdings. The only reason why a lot of y'all who've been in these big gig jobs, making so-called making all this money month after month, week after week, and showing it, the IRS has not had the manpower or enough people to examine a lot of these returns. I know the tax law. I know how it goes. So I'm not worried about, ooh, they're going to look at your tax return, because I always said to people, why don't you find a W-2 job to do that on this, to do a W-2. If you're not smart enough and you don't have no skills, it don't take a whole lot of skills to work at Amazon other than endurance of standing on your feet all day and working a 10, 12-hour day, 3 days a week or 4 days a week. And I said to people, and I work at Amazon still. I got to work tomorrow. Unless they have VTO, then I go back home and then I go ahead and continue studying. But I said, I've been here a year and some 5 months or whatever. And I said, you know what? I'm a stick it out, because one, it's 5 minutes away. It's 5 minutes away from home. Now I did used to go to Brazelton, and it was like a 49-minute ride. But I said, you know what? Like I said, I went there because they had health insurance. I said, well, shoot, they had health insurance from day one. And that's why my reasoning of working at Amazon. And then when they start speaking about all the other benefits like career choice and things like that, I took it. I said, "Ooh, I'm gonna stay just to take advantage of that," and I did, and I'm still doing it, and it's going great. It is going great, and I was like, so I don't understand. People would listen to the chuckleheads that be in people's chat, making comments, and I'll be reading the comments. I don't need no 9 to 5 job. I could sit there and make my own schedule, and I could just go ahead and keep doing Uber Eats and whatever. I'm like, then I hear people complaining about, um, I'm not driving 5 miles or $8. I was like, I don't. I'm just going to decline, and and it's and people think that, oh, I'm just going to decline. I'm going to wait till I get a $20 order, 30. Come on, people. You can't sit there and say you want to um get a big order, and then you talk, and then you in some area and you don't understand the demographics of where you are and the quality of people. Yeah, cold is exactly. And the quality of people and the type of restaurants you go into, you ain't gonna get no. Yeah, you may occasionally come across $8, $12, or maybe you know, and you may come across an order where you can get a good order. But people like, I ain't, it's 7 miles. Damn well, people, they depend on the market. Every market, it ain't that much difference. Whether you in Atlanta, whether you in San Francisco, whether you in New York. Okay, that's great. She finished radiation. I hope she does well. I don't know much about. I don't want to give medical advice, but make sure you put your mother on a real strict, healthy eating plan. Um, 111 pounds. I don't know how much she's supposed to weigh, but I don't know how tall she is. But see, pounds and stuff is relative because if you want to make sure is she maintains like healthy muscle, healthy nutrients in her cells. So, um, you know what channel I like to watch? YouTube channel. His name is Dr. Berg. Let me put it in here, Doctor. And there's some other ones, but I know he's pretty good on YouTube. And now, when people get on YouTube and they make medical claims, they do have a disclosure about medical claims and things like that. And please consult your doctor. But um, um, because I need to, let me show y'all. I'm taking. See, I got the insulin. I had to shoot this in my stomach every night. So um, I finally had to go and take insulin plus this nasty ass metformin and the other glyphosate and everything. But it made me sick the other day taking this metformin. I was like, oh my god, it was so bad. But um, basically, if you revamped, that's for anyone really. You don't even have to be if you cancer, but um, no kind of foods that's GMO, no kind of processed kind of food, and really like eat organically, vegetables, no kind of oh goodness. Yeah, mine is what is that? I think mine is 1,000 milligrams. These big horse pills, but I'm taking the well, people keep telling me watermelon is high sugar, blah blah blah. Well, watermelon ain't seasoning no more, even though I don't buy seedless. But I would just really look into just really not just eat vegetables and stuff, but like yeah, I know watermelon is good, but it's not in season. I refuse to buy seedless watermelon. I will not. I bought me a seeded watermelon. I only bought two watermelons this season, this past summer. How many? Put it this way, your pleasure. In terms of carbs, I can't look at that anymore because the old way of they used to say, "Oh, you go do this amount of carbs and blah blah blah." It's not really about carbs. The thing is for me is to have high protein and more um, low carbs, and most carbs, so called, is vegetables. It has to be some type of vegetables because vegetables don't have, it has maybe what one carb or whatever or less. Um, yeah, I did see seeded watermelon at Sprouts, but watermelon season is not in season in Georgia. At least I ain't seen none came from Florida because that's what they said watermelons gonna be in South Carolina, Florida, or Georgia. So when it comes to eating with carbs, it's really trying to factor your plate in terms of eating more vegetables, whole grain, and maybe 1 to 2 servings of fruit. So like I had dinner, I had leftovers from Longhorn, and I had grilled pork chop, not fried, but it was grilled pork chop and asparagus and a salad. Even though the salad that might have been too sweet because they put all that balsamic vinegar, and I was like, I should have told her to put it to the side. But I didn't eat all of it because I had all that bread. Now that bread was good, but I ate two. My cousin, who we finally met up, he had salmon, asparagus, and so I said I had steamed broccoli, but the broccoli was it wasn't even steamed right, and it looked like it was old. So I told him that look how this look right here, and I then told him give me asparagus, and they gave me asparagus. So I took half the food home because I couldn't eat it because I was already filled up from eating that bread, which has carbs, and I know it wasn't supposed to be done to eat all that bread. So I had it was two pork chops, eight. It was supposed to be 6 ounces, so I only ate 6 ounces of the pork chop, saved the other one, ate it today, even though it was Sunday and today is Wednesday, but it was still good because I kept it in the refrigerator, and I didn't eat the asparagus, so I had ate that asparagus and the pork chop, which was grilled, and it wasn't salty or whatever. I didn't. It wasn't seeing a lot of salt, but that's what I had for dinner. So none of that is carbs. Now, if it was fried pork chop, then it would be carbs because the flour would be carbs. But the amount of carbs, I can't really focus on that because I'm trying to eventually I'm going to try to do more and more research and do the keto diet, which is really intimate fasting. You stop eating at a certain time, like say 6, 7 o'clock, and then you're supposed to basically not eat anything until the next day around 9, 10 o'clock or whatever. So your body gets in a fasting type of mode. But the amount of carbs is not, no, you're supposed to really eat. I'm not doing no tricky things that's so tricky. All I'm gonna do is common sense, which the topic is go to Aldi's, Lidl's, whatever supermarket you wish to go to, buy more fruit and vegetables, less things out of boxes. So, mm, less things like well, put it this way, my is not because I have been always been eating poorly. But when I did, I started um, once my sneakers get here from Skechers, I need to buy me some new sneakers and some new shoes. I'm gonna start really hustling and walking more. I'm gonna be walking more, especially now that the fall. The weather now has been cool. It's not hot, but it's still hot, but not really. And I'm gonna start doing my I'm walking. You see the bicycle? I'm gonna start getting on that bike, and I'm gonna start eating more vegetables, salads. Man, in fact, I'm gonna bring a salad tomorrow when I go to work at Amazon. So I'm gonna make a salad tomorrow. I'll bring a salad tomorrow. What else am I gonna bring? I might bring me a chicken salad because I bought this chicken salad that's so good at Aldi's. But I know that may be not the chicken salad. For some reason I like, but I don't put a whole lot of chicken salad on the bread. Sketches go run. I bought it. Period. Hey, home base income. What's it doing, girl? Did you use the coupons they give you at Skechers? Because I bought me two pairs. It was $149 plus tax. No, $149, which included the tax. And I had signed up for Skechers, and then I used my Capital One. Um, there's a Capital One extension, so there was like a cash back. of 6% back on my card. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm sure I am. And I realized that once I started walking, now I have to be real. I have to be consistent. Walking, being on this bike, and possibly go back to the Y and got going into pool. Okay, DSW. Yeah, I mean, even though I put it on my Capital One, I pay my bill off like that. The minute they post that balance, I said, "Oop, here you go," because I have money cash, but I had to go online and order. I had to go online and yeah, I know what this. I know what that is. That's where I buy my boots and my shoes and stuff at DSW. But but yeah, they have the coupon and stuff. Trust me. But I haven't been in DSW for a minute, so but a lot of these stores they don't have the big selections like they used to. And I was like, what kind of mess is this? But I always buy my shoes with DS. I always buy boots and stuff from DSW. So, but since I be working from home most of the time with TurboTax, and then I go to Amazon, you have to wear those ugly ass safety shoes. Hopefully those Skechers sneakers come tomorrow, but I don't think it's coming tomorrow. I may get that thing Friday, the latest. They say it's on its way. But yeah, once I get my sneakers, I'll be walking, then walking Stone Mountain Park and walking up that mountain again. But I'm gonna do 5 miles around. If it takes me a minute to complete it, because I used to do 5 miles in less than an hour when I was in shape. But I know it's gonna take me a good minute to do it. But I'm going back to shape, and then my sugar levels will be dropping. And then since they finally gave me this insulin, I took this shot into my stomach. I said, did it? I felt a little hot a few minutes ago when I finished taking this, so I have to make sure I don't have rapid heartbeat, sweating, um, whatever else they said. Then I know that's when the insulin, because now I have to take a shot and take the pill. I don't not taking no metformin. I'm gonna try to take it easy, but um, it's ridiculous. I mean, I can't complain, but the insulin, luckily for me, it only cost me $11 for five. Yeah, you can lose weight on metformin too, but that metformin, my stomach hurt. I don't know, maybe because I took it and I was whatever I ate, it wasn't good. So all that sugar was, that metformin really does. So see, it came with 5 pens, five. And then when I went to CVS to pick up this, he was like, um, they didn't write the prescription to the needles. I asked them, "Can I speak to the pharmacist?" Because I never took no insulin, never took no shot. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to do it. And he was like, I said, I went to Emory, and they said you need to go change another doctor. Did they tell you what to do if the signs of your sugar's low? Because when you take insulin, your levels immediately will start to fall. Mine is like it was like 400 something. They said I'm beyond taking metformin only. So that's why I have to take this insulin, and I had to shoot this in my stomach, like chook. And they said, don't do it slow, do it real quick, like boop, and hold it for 10 seconds. And I'm taking it at night. They say you could take it whenever, but particularly at nighttime. And then with my feet being killing me, like it was pain when I was laying down with the nerve damage. They gave me this other prescription, which I'm gonna take, Lux, Duloxetine, 30 milligrams, 1 cap by mouth. I'm supposed to take this, some type of no, they didn't give me that. I just got the regular old whatever. Ploop, that's what I got. That's how I measure my shoe. I have to prick my finger. And when I go to work at Amazon, I have a medical accommodation. So they have, when I tell them I have to go to the medic thing, get my blood pressure checked and my sugar level checked. And I have to sit down on it, when I'm working, they have to honor it. And I don't know why that's why I'm not working extra shifts. I'm not working extra time. They've been having a lot of extra days. We got extra shifts Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, I'm not coming in early. I'd rather stay home, do my TurboTax, work from home. Um, and do whatever. Yes, my mom couldn't eat. Yeah, they better honor it because I'm on the verge of filing a complaint because when I worked another shift and worked extra hours, that's why I'm not doing it no more. You can't sit there. You can't. I said, well, do you have your paperwork? I'm not supposed to fucking carry paperwork around me showing that I have an accommodation. Then the person's manager, she come over there. I remember you work during the day. Nigga, I never worked during the daytime. Excuse my French. And I said, I don't work during the daytime. I have a regular job during the daytime. I do not work at Amazon during the day. And his name, the thing about it, this fool name is on the paperwork about the accommodation. That's where they took me from stowing, which was climbing up ladders and putting stuff up, to decant where the thing come off the truck and it goes down the belt. I open them up and put them in the yellow bins and it goes upstairs. And I'll not have to lift, well, technically you're not lifting anything, but you kind of sliding it off from the table and you're standing in the station in that one spot. And it was I was supposed to have a chair when anytime, and I still be working when I'm sitting down in the chair. I'm not even resting. I'm sitting in the chair doing the work, the same, dragging it out, open the box, and I got muscles developing my arms. I don't know, y'all can see it. Anywho, so I got muscles developing my arms. You know, I don't know why they make it hard for people, but I said the more and more they, only reason why I'm still hanging in there at Amazon is because, like I said, because of the insurance. And two, I'm doing a career choice and I'm learning Salesforce, which I'm doing now. And it's great. And I said, the minute I go and get the position at Salesforce or maybe work a real position in Amazon, not doing labor work, that's it. Oh, let me tell you, people ain't quitting. They ain't quitting like they used to. They not quitting like they used to, Colas. Amazon used to hire every week, 50 people every Thursday used to be waited to be checked in and go through orientation. Now, Stone Mountain, any location, zero. People not leaving their jobs like they used to. Not at Amazon. Um not the way how people were running to do Uber Eats and Grubhub and all these other apps, and they were doing that only by itself, and they had no other means of finding another job. I see that Uber sticker and stuff on people's cars. Not all of them, but people working at Amazon, because I'm already at, even though I get $16.60 plus $2.50. So I'm already at $18 and some change because I worked that Thursday, Friday, Saturday overnight, um, overnight, basically. And I've been getting a lot of messages from Amazon about applying for a higher position. The longer you stay at Amazon and you can hang in there for about a year and you take advantage of the career choice, the more they start, and I need to update my profile with my other skills, the more they start letting you know about the other opportunities like operations and AWS and um, those positions that pays very well. But like I said, this earlier conversation about the person I was talking about, if y'all catch the replay, I told this person, if you're going to be all the way up in Vegas struggling and trying to think me, I said, why don't you just work And Amazon, they up there in Vegas. I know they pay pretty good. People still stuck on their mind. They ain't working no job to pay $15 an hour. Even if Amazon did start off at 15, 3 months later you get another raise. 6 months later you get another raise. A year you get another raise. Remember when Nicola, she was asking me about, they was saying they was paying like 20 something dollars or up to 20 something dollars. That rate is someone who's been there, say, a year. So a year, you're going to get 20 something an hour. But the thing is, you get health insurance from day one, you get a 401k from day one. The insurance is not that bad because I know I already met my deductible. So everything that I'm paying for, I ain't got to pay nothing except for maybe $1.48 for the metformin and $1 something for that, and $11 for the insulin, which is like thousands of dollars. And that's the generic version. So even then, that ain't no $10, $20 insulin. That thing is more like thousands of dollars. So I'm grateful for that. Now, yes, it's hard. It's all hard on your feet, walking and doing stuff, but it ain't, the way how these gig workers doing, and all these companies and all these fast food, and we are in a recession, I guess you want to say. Y'all have to realize it's not always where you at. It ain't no location. I don't care what nobody tells me. It depends where you at. If Jermaine Ellis, who's one of the biggest YouTubers and the biggest person doing these gig jobs for the last 3, 4 years, and people have been watching him, if he live up in San Francisco and he's saying it's a struggle, anybody else living in New York and other places, Atlanta, anything in between, you don't hear these big YouTubers. They used to talk about, oh look, I make $2,000 a week. You used to see those people, the bearded one, the one in Chicago. I don't see his channel no more talking about it. Terry Tips, he live right here in Atlanta. He doing he doing Spark, doing groceries, pick up for Walmart, and telling what else he's doing. I don't know. But the minute something becomes hot, mm, yeah, you remember that Colas, the bearded one, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, damn, what happened? He ain't doing Uber no more, or Lyft, and then I think he got deactivated because that was the biggest story of all time. That was the biggest story of all time when he got deactivated. And then after, and the last time I checked about him, he was doing Task Rapid, delivering furniture and stuff. So, I'm like, don't get too comfortable, don't get too big headed, thinking, you're gonna make that money like that consistently. I told y'all it only has Uber and all these other companies doing food. It's only have a good 5 year run. All the people I watched on a regular basis, they was doing it. They no longer doing it, or they hardly do it anymore. You know, one thing I can say about you, home based income 101, Michelle, is that you took it another step extra by doing yeah, see, do part-time Uber Eats and Grubhub. See, one thing about you, home base 101, I wish I was doing a live stream, but I probably do it later on. Is that you went and revolutionized and did what you said that was again? Um Dumpling. And doing that doing that gives you more opportunities to expand, because when you start a business, whether you do franchise, start it on your own, independent contractor, it takes 5 years before you could truly see a positive income. And then the thing about what you do, which I do too, is investing. Now I don't do no crypto. I might buy like very small amount of money and do the crypto, but I sold Bitcoin a few months ago. I was like, I'm tired of Bitcoin, but I kept Ethereum, and they being merged with some other company because I still have the Robinhood and I have the Cash App platforms where I do my investing. But I also do my investing on Yield Street, and I also do Fundrise. So I don't speak too much about investments on my channel, but I'm still doing survey.com. Now I've been slowing down with survey.com because I do have some ones to do this coming weekend. It's like $150, making sure I check Red Bull for $25 an hour for Red Bull. That's simple. And um and then I also do those coupons, scanning receipts. I do the same thing you did. Matter of fact, when you was talking about it, I was doing coin out and all those scanning receipts to get gift cards, PayPal. Man, at the end of the year, I told people at the beginning of this year, I said, let's do a challenge and do $35 a day doing gig work. Now I kind of and I said if I do this $35 a day for a whole year, I can get 12,000 plus whatever dollars. Now, mm, I still have September, October, November, December. So I still have 4 months to see if I could make 10,000 plus dollars. Now I'm only halfway there according to my income that I was making so far because I just put it in my emergency fund, but I also start taking $100 invested in this and $100 in that one and $100 in that one. So um, that's what you do. All this time when you save your money in a savings account, just put it in a savings account. It's good to have an emergency fund, or in my case, I think it's important to have 1 year of emergency fund savings than to say 3 months. I don't think that's feasible to do 3 months of savings. I think it's more like 9 months to a year, in my opinion. But that little bit of money you make, especially if you do Uber Eats and you make $20-$50 a day, I would take that $50 and invest it in Fundrise or Yield Street or something, some type of investment. And I've been investing in real estate by not buying real estate. I invested in RIT. And because I already went over a certain amount, I'm now Core Plus. And they just said, oh, we just added your portfolio. We added a new acquisition. And you know what's popping? Real estate of apartments. They've been building up apartments in Georgia, Florida, the Sun Belt state, they call it. And because people need a place to live, regardless of how the recession goes. One thing that's for sure is people always going to need a place to live. They always going to need a place to live. Whether the market goes up, down, and all this stuff about it's going to be a real estate bust. No, it ain't. It's slowing down because it's the fall and winter. Most people went back to school. Um, people have never bought they don't jump to buy real estate in this time of the year. It's always going to be in the summer. So all this stuff you're hearing on the news about the real estate's going to collapse. It's going to be like 2008. No, it's not. No, it will not. Don't believe the hype because most people make money when the recession is down. And let me tell you, I bought this house for $117,000, and the house is appraised at um 320. I was like, ain't no way. I said, ain't no way this house is 320,000. So I looked around and I looked at the comps, and it was that the worst case scenario is that my house is at $280,000. And I was like, across the street, the people moved out again. I'm like, what the hell? I thought they bought the house. They didn't buy the house. Redfin bought the house across the street, and they sent a project man. They have a project manager managing it. The person was cutting the grass. I called the person across the street to cut my grass because my grass is like, it looked like a damn jungle. And I said, "How much you charging? Well, how much do you want to pay?" I should have said $50 because he didn't need the money. So I told him, if I'm gonna text him. I said, "Can you come on Saturday?" Because he said that he had to do 10 houses a day because these companies bought the house and they rent it. They said, "Oh, we're gonna have a renter in this house on the 10th or something like that." I was like, "What the?" I knew it. I knew it. They people, the neighbor who I knew for 5, 6, 7 years, I think it was Nicole. She said she was going to sell the house. She sold it. She didn't. I said, why don't you just rent it out on your own? Hire a project manager and rent it, and you get cash flow by renting it yourself. She didn't want to do that, so she sold it to a company. I know she didn't get that much, and she didn't even live in the house that long. And sold the house for whatever price. I'm gonna look it up tomorrow and see how much that house got sold for. But Redfin owns the house. They doing the rental, and I said I knew it. And I said I sworn in the HOA covenant that you couldn't do that. But I'm gonna ask them for the covenant. I need to start really looking into that. But people were selling their houses. They said last year people were getting money like that. It was so many demand for people to buy people houses because big companies are buying the houses all across the country. Big investors are buying houses and they're turning around renting it out, or it's not even flipping. It's not even flipping houses. People are not even doing that. If I found a house, if I was going to do real estate investment and I found some broken down house, I go around the corner, up the street, up to the 30083 zip code, and I see a decapitated house. I can't call and say, "Oh, let me call. I'm interested in buying this house for real estate." They wouldn't even sell it to me. They wouldn't even sell it because they would sell it to a big corporation company. A big company will buy it before a regular person who wants to buy a house will buy it. That's how competitive it is. And then they have to be, prices ain't going down like that. I don't even believe it. There's not even enough housing. There's not even enough people to build the houses. There's not even enough materials. And surely things are being built. So I invested in RIT. I went on right up there in Fundrise. Let me see if I got a code. Anyway, I'm going to do another video about that and speak on that. But I look at my little investments, and I said, "Oops, it's growing. It's growing, surely." And that's what I would do. That's what I would do with one of my little gig jobs. If I say I want to, I don't do Grubhub anymore. They ain't put me back on the platform. And besides, I haven't seen Grubhub around for a long time since. So I don't even know. But even if I was doing merchandise, survey.com or Observer or whatever, or even scanning receipts and getting little monies from the receipts I do, by the end of the year, I'm going to add up. I haven't cashed out at any of those gas, the gas app one and the coupon ones, the ones I got all these points. I go to, I'm going to add up all those things that I was doing. And I could assure you, so far, I think when I started adding them up, 50, I think it's like $400 something so far. Now I may be off a little because I haven't counted, but that's what I do. I just do little things, Scan receipts. Sometimes that's a job in itself, coming home, scanning receipts. Because I could use, um, I could have one receipt I could scan with a bottle, even though a bottle is kind of slow. Fetch rewards, I get gift cards. I haven't cashed that out yet. I could do, um, there's some other ones. Yeah, but there's some, like I said, I know I'm supposed to talk about common sense. I know it's common sense, but sometimes you can't use, well, he young and 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 just do foolish stuff. I'm like, how you, I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't understand people. I just don't understand people. All I know is one, if I'm sitting here struggling and I would surely do what I need to do. I will, if Amazon's still hiring in your area, I will go ahead and do it. Even if you do it for 3 months. Just do it for 3 months just to get the opportunities to take advantage of the career choice. Because I could leave Amazon tomorrow. I said, I don't want to do, I'm tired of doing Amazon. TurboTax has now promoted me to something higher, and I could still continue to do the career choice because they don't really looking for you to stay at Amazon and doing the same thing. They don't expect their employees to do the same thing year after year. That's why they offer their opportunities of career choice, because they know there's a need of software engineers, technical IT. Even they are the biggest world company that hires for IT, AWS. You know, Amazon about to take over the world in other industries that one don't even know of, that they always offer that opportunities. Whole Food. When Whole Food was taken over and got bought out by Amazon a few years ago, shoo, I knew that was the end of Instacart. I was like, hell no. Instacart, that was the end of it. When they bought out Whole Food, I used to go to Whole Food and used to go to do the shopping. You see about 10 people in Ship shirts. Ship was the other groceries in Instacart. I go to, and this ain't just one particular Whole Food. It was like Publix. I was like, it was popping. Instacart, Ship. It was I could probably do Instacart and Ship only at the time back in the day and make $700-800, and I wasn't even hustling like that. I was doing 35 hours a week, 30 something hours a week, and I made $700-800. And I was like, I get so bored doing it, so I was making that, and then I would do Grubhub or Uber Eats and do that for like 300 $300. So I was making some good money, but I wasn't riding myself all day, all night. A month ago, my mom shopped at an Amazon store, no cashier, and she walked. Yep, they doing it. They spoke about that a couple years ago. Atlanta was one. Was it the test market? I think it was supposed to be. It has been a minute since I've been to Whole Foods, but the one I'm thinking about, the one further downtown, I haven't been there for a minute, but I've been to the one in yeah, they started talking about doing that. They spoke about that. When I read the press release, they said it was going to start doing that. They was going to start because it was in San Francisco, and then they started expanding it. I remember they talked about that 4 years ago. They would say, "Oh, we're going to start doing this and this and that," and so I knew AI, artificial intelligence, the way how they do things. Amazon got those new EV vans, and they got the EV vans, and they got it's a whole lot of things they're going to be doing. A whole lot. A lot of people spoke, was so pessimistic or optimistic or whatever, whichever one the difference is. Well, put it this way, so skeptical about the driverless cars, and they ain't gonna do that. They ain't not gonna do that. Yes, they will. They don't even have drivers now to deliver products to stores, not just Amazon, but a whole lot of the trucking industry. They can't even find people to start doing those trucks. And they just had on our A to Z app when they were speaking about they were needing people to train them in not electrical engineering, mechanical engineering. They even got that. If you want to go to truck driving school, if you want to learn how to drive a truck, and you want to learn how to be fix things, mechanic, even at Amazon, they need people to walk around that whole warehouse, fixing the belts, fixing this. They hiring for that. They've had a whole big thing. They've been talking about that, and they said, "Oh, go and visit." Oh shoot, I missed it. It was today. Dang it. Anywho, so they were looking for people, training them to do that. Now I would do it, but I said no. I'm not that inclined. Amazon is paying people to go to school to learn technical IT. I'm doing it now. This is my second course doing it, and I'm doing it now. All I have to do is pass my certification for Salesforce, and trust me, I've been studying every day. They even had truck driving and mechanics, and they'll pay for you to go to school. I'm keep telling y'all. I told those chucklehead coworkers of mine at work, these young people, I don't want to go to school. I'm tired of that. I said, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I want to fix. I want to do nails. Nails. Hey, I mean, I know, women, men, they need people to do nails, but they even have a machine that I saw that would paint your nails. You ain't not even a person that was doing it. You sit there under this machine and they would do the same designs, the same little tips. They had a machine doing it. You go there to the place and you put what, and I ain't cheap looking either. I don't do my nails because I don't like people touching my hands. But they had a computer that was doing it. That's how things are changing on a drop of a dime. I think that when they say, "Well, we're in a recession with the economy and it's worldwide," I don't think it has nothing to do with things going down and this and that or whatever and inflation. Yeah, that's the economics, macroeconomics of situations. But I think we are now entering another new era. What I mean by that is, how they said that agricultural changes, the industrial revolution, you know, um, that type of evolution is happening. Things are now We are now entering a new type of era. Things that we may not live, I may not be live, me, Michelle, all of y'all, we may not live to see the full effects of the change, but we may be about when we get about 60, 70, 80 years old, God willing we live that long, we're going to start seeing a whole new way of life, a whole new way how the world is going to look. I believe that. When people say it ain't gonna be no driverless cars, it ain't gonna be no flying cars, it ain't gonna be, I everything gonna be so robotic, everything gonna be so AI. Um, yep, and that's where I start doing my investments. When I look at things like, okay, and I don't, let me choose a company or let me choose somebody who's doing. That's why I got my investments with Tesla. I bought Tesla over a year ago. Even though people say, "Oh, Tesla," the stock split three times, three for one. I said, "Dang, I could have bought me some more stocks." But um, I'm going to start investing in things that's going to be advanced technology wise, cars. It ain't going to be the same old car. It ain't gonna be the same old GM. GM is now trying to advance in terms of how they do things. Car companies. Don't believe the hype when people say, "Oh, the government bailed out GM and Ford." And they needed to bail those companies out because one, that's where new things. It ain't just gonna be Tesla. Tesla ain't gonna be the only one in the whole market that's gonna be the with the cars. GM, Ford, whoever else. Those companies been around for hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. They ain't just gonna suddenly go under. Trust me. They their business models has evolved from the time they started. That's why I love watching history of these tycoons, these people who've been had money like for years. I watch those YouTube channels, you know, like um Neiman Marcus, um, Walmart. I mean, if you watch the history of these companies, how they evolved and how they started out with humble beginnings, and they still around. People may say, well, they may lose money. They're gonna lose money and say, oh, they went down. They may close down stores or whatever the case may be, but they're not really going anywhere. It's just gonna be a whole new way of how they do things. They may now go from having a brick and mortar stores. They don't have a whole lot of stores. Everybody's now shopping online. They may now have a presence of stores where you get to shop online. And that's where Amazon come into place because they use the AWS. Everybody has to AWS runs the majority of a lot of the e-commerce. Salesforce, which I'm starting to learn, is used at TurboTax and as well as thousands and thousands of companies. But that platform, well, CRM system is has a exponential growth as well. That's why Amazon offered the career choice for Salesforce to teach people to go in to be an admin. That's what I'm starting out with. But I could share that on a live stream when I do StreamYard, and I could show y'all about it. But I'm going to end this. I ain't going to stay here too long. But and Michelle, I've been watching your videos. I've been watching your videos, so I'm going to go and watch. So if you're going to be online or make some ones, I'm going to watch too. And if you ever decide to do a live stream and you want me to be on there as a guest, let me know if you're ever going to decide to do that one day. So we could collaborate about the gig work, how to use money and investments, especially when you get in your 50s, and you in your 40s, even if you're in your 30s, for that matter. I tell people, I said, you're 30 years old. You need to do this. Stop running around like a chicken. Oh, which software are you talking about? Because you know what? Um, Tell me which one you're speaking about. Which software? Salesforce or AWS? Oh, if you do StreamYard, if you sign to StreamYard.com, there's a link where you can say invite people and then you go. I'm gonna have to not YouTube live, but I know you could do StreamYard.com and then you could if you do the free version, you have 60. What was it? Not 60 minutes. Well, you go StreamYard.com. That's the one I know where you could invite people on, and then when you go live stream, when you go on live stream, then the chat will you could put invite, and then you click on it, then you can invite people onto your show. I'm going to start doing live streaming. I'm going to do a schedule. I'm going to do a schedule when I'm going to go live stream And then I'm going to start making a lot of short videos, because sometimes you talk too long, like people could probably not even listening to the whole live stream unless they on here. So, but yeah, if you like doing this gig work, especially y'all younger people driving around, and all that stuff, you better realize number one, um, try to pick up some type of skill. You don't have to be a software developer. You ain't have, there's a whole lot of things you could do. That's why I've been pursuing this for 6 years. 6 years I've been pursuing some way of getting into door and IT, but you ain't got no experience. Yeah, whatever. You have to have 3 years experience as a software engineer. I said, how would I get experience as a software engineer? I got my degrees over 20 something years ago. It's obsolete. So that's what I've been doing. I took a free course last year to learn um, HTML, CSS last year. Oh, okay. Yeah, you could do WordPress too. I've learned WordPress too a few years ago. I have me a blog on WordPress, but I haven't written in my WordPress blog for the last couple of years. I used to have a blog, but I need to start writing more in that blog too. And then I'm learning Python. I'm still learning that. And then I'm trying to study for the EA exam with the TurboTax. So it's like I'm doing so much learning that I have to concentrate on doing one thing. But I said, shoot, I'm gonna keep learning. I'm gonna still stick with TurboTax, learn taxes and stuff because that's what I've been doing for the last 20 something years. You know, and it's still good. It's still a good career, and I still like to do it. But I said, shoot, what else can I learn to do something else? But I realized I could learn IT because I could always apply for a position within the company that I work with. I could still work within TurboTax and be an internal for both companies, Amazon and TurboTax. You know, while I'm still a seasonal employee, I'll be working during the season. Now I'm still working at TurboTax now for the summer until October 15th when the tax deadline comes around. And then we go on hiatus for about 2 months. And then I go right on back to work, do my training in December, and then go right on back to work again. So I just know one thing. For all these trolls and for all these silly people who come on there and you can't write a sentence, you can't even form a thought because you write things in people's comments and people's channels sound like a damn fool talking about I ain't with no 9 to 5 job and I don't need to be no uniform and you write like you just only went through the 5th grade, sounding stupid as hell, and you being a troll and making comments for people who are doing things, you're a loser. You're a loser. And even if people had a job you may not so much like, you don't have to stay there forever. I'm talking about the people who think that um, having a job is a waste of time. But the thing about it, these people don't even have any skill sets at all. That's the thing that kills me. They barely got out of high school or they didn't go to high school. They barely, because you could tell the way they write, you could tell the way they speak, you could tell the way they write stuff, right? Write things in the comment section on YouTube. They don't have no skill sets, and you have to do. I'm not saying you have to because people have their reasons why they're doing these gig work, especially Uber Eats and Grubhub and all those, those main ones. People have their reasons. Not everybody is down and out and downtrodden doing those gig work. I'm addressing those who, and I could tell who they are. Like that dumb bitch that came drove up my house last year or a year and a half ago when the guy was supposed to cut my grass and he ordered Uber Eats when he at my house, he ordering food, and this bitch come pulling up in my damn parking lot, whatever. I said, excuse me, what? I didn't order anything. And then she was so nasty and rude. This bitch come driving up with 10 billion scotch tapes on the front of the car, the whole car, fender or whatever, drag it to the ground. You holding it up with some scotch tape. But she was so cockeyed like this. She was cockeyed. Let me see if I can do it. She cockeyed, talking crazy, some young girl. You know, bitch, if you don't get the hell on, and then he comes to like, oh, the group, oh, the food. You know, you supposed to be cutting my fucking grass and you ordering food, and you supposed to be cutting my grass, and this bitch come driving up doing Uber Eats. You could tell she ain't got no common sense. No common sense, no sense of nothing. And what it probably was that the mama told her to get her ass out the house, stop laying around the house. You need to get yourself a job. And then they work at McDonald's or some fast food place, get an attitude. Get an attitude. You come there, and, they ain't want to work in the first goddamn place. You go up there, they want to have an attitude. I mean, do Uber Eats. I can make, that's all they could do. Never went there. They didn't went to college. They went to school. They didn't learn nothing when they was in high school. You could tell when people are graduating out of high school. So they turn around and do these gig work, barely could drive, barely could do anything. No sense of customer service when they come to deliver food. I never had no issues with getting tips because, see, my thing was this. I said, out of 10 people that I may do deliveries for, 6 of those people or 7 may tip. I don't expect everyone to send me a tip, but at the same time, I at least say, okay, thank you, have a good day, whatever. Or when I did Domino's, I said, you ain't gonna leave a tip. So I know how to say things to a certain way without being, you ain't gonna leave no tip, Man, I ain't got no tip, I'm sorry. Okay, all right, that's fine. Here you go. Go about my business, Or if someone tells me, oh, that's all I have, and it may be a low order, but when I get there, I say, here you go. I go out my way to help them, to treat people with respect, to know what this, you don't know what people's circumstances are. I see so many people up there, they just come, I'm not going 5 miles for $3. I said, yo, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. 3 to 5 miles or something that pays $4 or $5, but you're not going anywhere. The algorithm is already determined with these apps. People just decline, and they're going to wait. Yeah, you go do that. I'm not saying drive 50 miles to go to a restaurant, but I just don't know. I don't know what's wrong with these people who've been doing these apps in the last 2 years. I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know. I don't understand it. They just don't, if you haven't been when I was doing it, the OGs, the original ones doing Grubhub, Uber Eats, and Grubhub back in 2016, 2017. But the ones who just started doing it after COVID, 2020 and 2021 last year, I'm like, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know who they listening to, but I already knew. I already knew. But you know what? If I were y'all, anybody who's out there talking about I'm gonna make $10,000 in 1 month doing Uber Eats and grocery deliveries and all this stuff, you're delusional. Ain't no way in hell you're gonna make $10,000 in 1 month doing Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, Spark, whatever. Even if you do multi apps, it's only 12 hours in a day. And when you think about, okay, most restaurants, most places, they close. So that's what? You only got like a 12-hour day. You only have a certain number of window of time that people order food and gas. Exactly. And gas prices have been going down, so I guess that's a good thing. But at the same time, you got to factor in that you're gonna be at least using up half a tank of gas, the least half a tank of gas if you work a 12-hour day. But ain't no way in hell that that you think you could make $200 a day every day. No, you cannot. Maybe on the weekends, maybe Fridays and Saturday you could do that, or Sunday if you do grocery shopping, you could make 100 and something. But I know I made about that, if not a little bit more, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I knew you have to go to some very good areas that got disposable income. You cannot expect to pick up from McDonald's and Wendy's and get a big amount of money. Most people feel that it's cheaper to eat cheap food in cheap fast food restaurants and they don't have a car. They're gonna order using Uber Eats, Grubhub, whatever, and order McDonald's. You ain't gonna, they ain't got no car now. They do mind that. They ain't got no car. So they're gonna order fast food, whatever. When the fact of the matter is this is that if you get food stamps or EBT or SNAP, whatever, you know that if you order on Amazon, you get the membership for, is it free? I don't know. I don't have Amazon Prime anymore. I dropped them. I said, you want me to pay $170? I'm an employee. I don't get no discount. So I dropped the membership. I had, but if you wanted to order, if you had EBT or a SNAP card, you could sign up and get that thing for free, if I believe. And if you wanted to order groceries, Amazon Fresh, I looked at those prices on Amazon Fresh. That's not bad. You can order Amazon Fresh and get it delivered for free. You're saving money by not driving to the supermarket, for one. Number two, you're getting it delivered, and they have coupons just as the same. When I had my membership, I used Amazon Fresh one time. I didn't order it again, not because I thought it was expensive. I didn't order it again because I was used to going out grocery shopping, going to the store, because I started shopping at Lidl's, Aldi's, maybe Kroger's sometimes, in Publix. But since I was doing survey.com, I was always going into these grocery stores doing the merchandising and stuff. Otherwise, if I was working from home 60 hours a week at 60 hours, I was working a lot of hours working from home, and I didn't have time to go to the grocery store. Then I would order it. Then I would order groceries rather than ordering fast food and ordering Uber Eats and stuff, because I was like, because I said I could buy groceries and make food myself and eating out all the time. Now I do love going to Panera, but I don't go there every day either. And I use my little gift cards that I buy, and I may buy a Panera gift card, and I'll do that. But other than that, um, being a gig worker, you have to somehow or another balance it out, because if you could work a W-2 whatever at Amazon and you choose your own schedule, see, now people lost the opportunities to try to apply at a job at Amazon because Amazon had so many different schedules at the time. You could pick up your own schedule. You could work when they need people. Like you could say, okay, I want to be flex, and you work at Amazon. I shop today to cook tomorrow. Better exactly. I'm gonna have to start buying organic myself because I have to manage my diabetes and start eating more healthier and stop start buying more fresh foods and vegetables because tomorrow September, well, today is September because it's already midnight. I'm gonna be real strict with my budget, especially when it comes to food. So I'm gonna start looking up some more recipes to cook. So tomorrow I'll be eating my salad and something else I'm gonna eat with it. I don't know yet. Salad, maybe the chicken salad. I don't have any more chicken that I roast. I didn't take no chicken out the freezer. I could have roasted me a chicken tomorrow, but maybe I'll do that tomorrow. If I take that chicken out, no, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just go in that freezer, take that chicken breast, and grill it and cut it up, put it in my salad, and have that for dinner or lunch. Yeah, it's not. I don't want to call it a diet. I'm just gonna It's not a diet because just like the word says, you're gonna die doing it. It's just about eating healthy. That's all. Eat more organic. Not processed food. You know, eat a lot of vegetables and protein like chicken, salmon, fish. I'm gonna try to stop eating sausages because I bought me some smoked sausages and I was like, ugh. So I'm gonna stop eating that as much. I don't go to McDonald's anymore. I said, hell no, no more. Can't do it. Chick-fil-A, nope, can't eat that either. I'm gonna stop doing that. And then I'm gonna stop eating Culver's. That's another one, even though I love Culver's. So I said, nope, no more. Maybe I do once a month. When I mean once a month, I mean it once a month, and that's it. So starting today, which is September 1st, my challenge is to eat what I got. I got that freezer. I know I got some salmon. I know I got chicken, chicken breast, chicken thighs, frozen vegetables. Ain't nothing wrong with frozen vegetables, but mm-mm, nope. So when someone says, "Why you want to eat? How many carbs you need to eat, or whatever?" I'm not going to focus on carbs because if I eat vegetables, it has zero to no carbs anyway. So and and protein like lean meats because I know if I start doing that, eating like that, because I did it before. I used to be real diligent about, and then if I had whole grain, I may eat oatmeal, not that cheap oatmeal that you get in a little pack. A little pack that ain't nothing but plain sugar, but whole grain, 100% whole grain oatmeal with some blueberries and some cinnamon, real cinnamon, and almond milk. Because I like to eat oatmeal, especially when it starts getting cool. And the only thing I'll eat that probably be carbs would be that. Other than that, everything else gonna be fruit and vegetables. And you know what I need to do? I need to start documenting my um, journey again. A few years ago, when I first started YouTube, my channel was based upon my weight loss, and I wrote my WordPress blog. WordPress blog was about that. So, anywho, I know for y'all on here, thank you for the 5 thumbs ups. I know my topic went off topic about common sense is not always common sense, but if you catch the replay, you catch what I was talking about. But some people on YouTube, they just tell their whole story and just this didn't make no sense for this person to what he did. But anyway, all right, home based income 101. Thank you for coming on. I will, and I'll come on your channel when you on there again. So I'll keep my alert up. my bell. I don't know why it's not seen to pop up, but I need to check. All righty. Y'all have a good night. All right, Colis. Send me a message if you like, and then you could ask me whatever questions. I know you was talking about doing some things. And your pleasure. Who else be on here that's watching in the background? They came on just lurking in the background. David, probably you on here. Anywho, y'all have a good night. If I come on here tomorrow night, that means they had VTO and I decided to take it and go home early. But if not, I'll see y'all on Sunday afternoon. See y'all. Good night. Like, comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate it.